Right.
But what about Ukraine?
Senator, I think if confirmed, I'd pledge you to look into that, working with my colleagues in the Industrial Based Policy Office.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Blumenthal. Senator Scott, please, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. First off, congratulations on your nominations. Thanks for your willingness to serve. So my first question is for Mr. Chalet. So you've spent a great deal of your career at the State Department, so congratulations on that. And I think you've served the entire Biden administration. During the Biden administration's time in office, here's what's happened. Russia's waged a war in Europe with its horrible invasion of Ukraine. The United States was humiliated by President Biden's botched withdrawal from Afghanistan, which left $80 billion of U.S. military equipment in the hands of the Taliban, allowed Communist China to gain an even stronger foothold in the Middle East, and took the lives of 13 U.S. service members. Communist China has increased its unacceptable bullying of our allies and partners in the Indo-Pacific. They're threatening Taiwan. They're disrespecting the sovereignty of the Philippines with illegal land use in the West Philippine Sea. North Korea has resumed ballistic missile testing. And while all of this is happening, the U.S. military now has a hard time recruiting people. I believe these issues are a reflection of unacceptable failure by the civilian leadership at the Pentagon. Our service members are patriots who are willing to give their lives for our freedom, but they're being failed by current civilian leadership and policy. So here's my question. As the number 3 at DOD, what changes would you start making on day one to fix these problems?
Well, Senator Scott, thank you for the question. Look, I think that I see things a bit differently in terms of where we are in the world, in terms of our posture in the world. I look across the Indo-Pacific, the Middle East, and Europe, and I see in Europe a NATO that is stronger, larger, and more united than it has been in my professional lifetime.
Can I stop you there? Maybe would we be better off if they weren't united and we weren't at war?
Oh,
I mean, because look, I mean, we're sitting there. Think of how we got war in Europe, right? We're spending billions of dollars, right? So I like the fact that we're unified, but golly, look at where we are. We got people dying every day, and Russia didn't do this before.
Well, Russia has done it before. It did it in 2008 in Georgia, and in 2014 in Ukraine, and it's done it again in 2022 in Ukraine. And so, yes, the United States, we tried to prevent this war from happening. We tried to release intelligence to expose what Vladimir Putin was up to. But I think of the result, again, due to, in large part, to U.S. leadership.
Let's go back to the question. Would you do something different?
Senator, I think there's a very strong foundation in terms of alliances and partnerships around the world that I will seek to build on. But obviously, we're always looking for ways to innovate and go further.
So there's nothing you would do different?
Well, there will be things I'll do different.
China's getting worse, right? North Korea's getting worse. Russia's worse. So there's nothing you would change at DOD?
Oh, if confirmed, one of the first things I'll do is assess the situation and fully understand what we could be doing differently, particularly when it comes to advancing our alliances and partnerships. We can't change China or North Korea or Russia, but what we can do is make sure that we are better positioned by the United States alone, but also working with our allies and partners to deal with the challenges those countries pose.
You don't think we can deter them?
Oh, we absolutely can deter them. We must deter them, in fact.
So what would you do? What would you do to deter them?
Well, so it starts with investing in ourselves and ensuring that the Defense Department and the U.S. military, our war fighters, have what they need to be a modern, lethal, capable force. It all starts with deterrence. We need our adversaries to wake up every day and say to themselves, today's not the day.
What would you do to change the recruitment?
Well, Senator, I would work closely with my colleague in personnel and readiness as well as the services to understand what role policy would play in trying to help meet this recruitment challenge, which no question there is across 3 of the 5 services, or 4 of the 5 services.
Yeah, 4 of the 5. Thank you. Ms. Abercrombie, so I've been up here 4.5 years. Every time somebody comes up from DOD, I ask, why can't you figure out how to get our military providers to get equipment done quicker? Everybody says they're going to go back and look at it. Oh, they're going to try. We've passed a whole bunch of changes in the NDAA. Is there a culture problem at the DOD? Why? If you did this in private business, I mean, you wouldn't keep your job because it doesn't seem like it's getting better.
Senator, thank you for the question. I do think DOD has made some improvements in large part due to flexible authorities authorized by, provided by the Congress. And so if confirmed, what I pledge to do is go in and assess, are those new authorities being effectively utilized across the board? If not, I will work to make sure the workforce is getting the training and the signals from the top that this is important for us to do. And I would also further assess if any additional changes might be required and would pledge to come back to the Congress seeking those changes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.